Jaylen Brown kind of went the other way. He's like, yeah, I worked on all the things everyone talks about that I can't do. And he made the list. Free throw shooting, playmaking. I was like, yes, we complained about that. Yeah, I wrote about that too. Yep. He's like, I don't want to give anything for them to talk about this year. So we'll see. He hit some free throws, some clutch free throws, in a little scrimmage they had yesterday. Good for him. The playmaking and free throw shooting is a big deal, though. I mean, I think he's going to be in a spot. It's really
I'm less worried about the playmaking than I am the free throw shooting. I mean, the free throw shooting is certainly his biggest crux, which is weird because everybody said, remember the statement, it was all about, hey, that free throw shooting, he's never going to be a shooter in the league. He didn't shoot well from three. I think less than 30% in college. He's going to be a nightmare. And then really he corrected the 3-point shooting quite quickly, which makes the free throw shooting such an oddity. And I think he even said it's kind of part of this mental thing. I think he's overthinking it. And maybe this addition of meditation into his pregame, daily routines or whatever will help him with that. I really don't think so. I think it's repetition, and confidence. And so, I expect by the time he's 28, that'll all be in check. But I'm not expecting more than marginal incremental improvement year after year. I don't think there's going to be, all of a sudden he's an 80% free throw shooter. It's just not going to happen.
I think you're right. I think in terms of his percentages, I think you're right. I mean, he was so bad though last year that on that side of it,
did it like really 65%?
Yeah,
something like that. And he's such a contact guy. He needs those points.
Exactly. No, totally. I totally agree with there. I mean, I think to me, a lot of what his issues are overthinking it though. I don't think it's a mechanical thing. I think it's a mental thing. It's a mental block. And it's the playmaking is a similar sort of idea. It's this: you're so smart that sometimes the simple things can get in your way, and you overthink it. I think the playmaking.
He didn't say it that way, but that's what he said. He said sometimes the things that come easy to me, are hard for everybody else, and sometimes the things that are easy for other people come hard to me. And he basically said
absolutely.
What he said.
I would hire him to be. He should be elected the Players Association president right now, but he needs to figure out how to run a pick and roll too, and find a guy, the cutter. I mean, you don't have
you're boycotted. If you can't do pick and roll, you're out.
You're out. I mean, Chris Paul's the president right now, so that's the bar, I guess. But I think the thing with him too, it's a question. He's in a really interesting spot, and I know Jaylen's your guy, so it's interesting to me because he's really the fifth option, of that Shamrock Five, Erotic City Council. He is the fifth guy. He's the fifth option, which is crazy. I mean, you put him on other teams, he'd be the number one option, right? So he's the fifth option on that team. But so in what the Celtics need him to do, he doesn't really need to. The playmaking isn't important. But for him to get to where he needs to be as a player, and to show his potential, I suppose. That's the playmaking is probably the place where he's got to turn to and at least become adequate in that capacity.
Well, if he's not going to be the number one option, he has to help get the ball into the number one option, number two option's hands at times. And by being able to do that, he'll draw less contact and the free throw shooting won't be as big of an issue because he should have more open lanes to the basket. And even when he's driving to the lane, there should be a cutter. We're going to see a lot of baseline with him, I think, this season because he's always hanging out on the wing, that fifth option. So if they can get all the defense rotated to one side, if they swing the ball fast enough, he should be coming in baseline. Now, they're going to collapse, and because of his free throw percentage, they're going to want to hit him on his way to the rim, but he should be finding somebody coming right up the middle for a nice, easy layup. And if he can do that, then that would obviously help immensely. And the points per game and the offense sort of numbers for this team and et cetera, it will help them get into that top 10 range. Like I said, I think they will be this season.